Okay, today we are playing a game on Oasis. We are playing 1 round as Genji and 1 round as Tracer. This VOD doesn't include the full game, but somehow I suspect it only went 3 rounds anyway, so I think we get the picture. Don't know exactly what SR we're at right now, but we have a diamond icon, so I'll assume we're in the diamond SR range somewhere. And our current team composition is Roadhog, Zarya, Pharah, Genji, Zenyatta, and Mercy. This is pre-Roadhog nerf, by the way, so Roadhog is still a hero in the game right now, so don't be concerned about that. It's a pretty unremarkable team. We've got Pharmacy, which is good. We've got Zenyatta, he's good. Zarya's good. Roadhog's still good at this point in time. It's very unremarkable. One other thing to note, we are in a 4-man right now. This doesn't really ever come up because we don't say anything all game, which kinda defeats the point of being in a pre-made that large, but, you know, whatever, that's okay. There are a couple points where I'm going to talk about that, though, because it would have made a difference if we were talking. So, anyway, we're coming in now, we're on University. Oh, that's right, we don't have Mercy right now, because Mercy is currently AFK, but they're going to pick Mercy in the next couple of seconds. So we come over here, we use Deflect right here. This is a pretty frivolous use of Deflect, because it's like, best case scenario, you get some ult charge off of that, but like, that's an 8-second cooldown for something you could have just left-clicked to get, you know? So it's kind of your main defensive ability, so that's kind of a frivolous use of it. This does come up, because we come over here when we find Roadhog. As soon as you see that Roadhog and your Deflect is not up, you go back over that wall immediately, because that's going to happen to you. I mean, I guess he might miss, but I find it best to operate assuming the enemy knows what they're doing. So, frivolous use of cooldown, and then not just immediately backing up again. Just go back over that wall immediately. So here's our Mercy, she's back now. So we've lost a couple of people as we get over here, which is not exactly a good start. However, we do suddenly kill their Genji. Deflect at their Roadhog, but he misses, so that's cool. Our Roadhog is now going to pick off their Zarya. So we've just killed 2 people. Our team is like mostly here right now. We've got 5 people. We just killed 2 of their team. We also killed 2 people not that long ago, so they're still coming back right now. They'll be here soon, but they're not currently here. So this is the time to be like, we just killed 2 people. Let's go right now. We don't do that. Like, we're in a pre-made, and we should be like, you know, let's go right now. We don't go. So, we're kind of scared by this Roadhog right now. We come around, we start deflecting at him. When we start deflecting at him, he isn't looking at us yet. And I think the intention was to come around the corner and try to bait him out. That's kind of like, so it's like, don't bother getting into that unless you absolutely have to. And like, he wasn't looking at us, so it was pretty unlikely to hook us. But like, trying to just like come around and bait out the hook immediately, just like, wait for him to use the hook and then go in, basically. Like, it seems unnecessarily risky to me. So, we're coming over here right now. Also, their Roadhog just killed 2 people back to back, so he's currently a god. So we're coming over here because we just saw Mercy over here a second ago. So we can see Mercy's currently dead in the kill feed. So we don't need to come over here. The person who killed Mercy is also in our pre-made. So really he should be like, Mercy's down. And then we wouldn't have to come over here again. But neither of these things happen. We come over here to check the Mercy. This is also important because their Roadhog is nearly dead right now. If we didn't waste this second or two coming over here to check on the Mercy, we could have just killed Roadhog, because he's mostly dead right now. This is important because now we don't kill Roadhog, because he does this. And now, the worst thing possible has happened, where we've dashed through somebody, but we didn't kill them. So now we're just where we don't want to be, and our dash is on cooldown, so we can't get away. And we don't get away. When you dash through someone, you've got to be really certain you're going to kill them. And I don't mean you have to kill them with the dash, but you've got to be certain you're going to kill them. So dashing through a tank is pretty risky. You've got to be sure that you're going to kill the tank. We didn't kill the tank, so we ended up not where we wanted to be. And if we didn't waste a second or two checking on the Mercy, we probably could have killed the Roadhog. So, you know, this could have affected the entire fight. So we're coming back right now. We've just killed their Genji again, so that's a good start to things right now. We don't really know what we're gonna do. We think we're gonna get hooked. He actually hooks our Roadhog instead, but Roadhog's been bubbled, so he's gonna kill this Roadhog now as a result of him hooking him. In general, well, okay, this isn't true anymore, so I'm just not gonna say that at all, but this Roadhog is gonna win this fight, basically. I wouldn't dash over here for a couple of reasons. First off, Roadhog doesn't need your help. He got bubbled. He's gonna kill the other Roadhog now. Also, I wouldn't dash over here because I've seen Genjis do this, where they dash over to the person that got hooked. They dash through the person right as the Roadhog shoots, and they just get one shot. So, like, I mean, yeah, that's pretty unlikely, but this dude doesn't need your help, so I wouldn't dash over here in general, just to make sure that doesn't happen to you, because that would be pretty terrible. It doesn't happen, but it can happen. So, we got a bunch of ultimates built up there, as we just saw, so we killed their Roadhog. We're coming over here now to try and kill their Mercy. We do dash through the Mercy while she's still at full HP, which I find to be very risky, because if you don't kill the Mercy, you can be in a pretty bad spot, as we saw earlier when we didn't get our dash reset. We do kill the Mercy anyway, but dashing through people at full HP is a little bit on the risky side, because the chances of not killing them are pretty high if they're at full HP. Especially someone like Mercy, who can be quite squirrely. So, we just saw our Roadhog get absolutely fucking murdered, which is terrible news. So, they're now using Dragon Blade, and their soldier is using Tac Visor. So, Zenyatta is currently going 2 for 1 right now, which is fantastic news for us. Zenyatta's probably feeling pretty good about it as well. We come over here and we start deflecting against the Tac Visor. Don't do that, because it's just like one of the most pointless ultimates to try and deflect. Because it's not like you're gonna kill him by deflecting the Tac Visor back at him, unless, like, you're a god, or you bounce the rockets back at him. And if there's somebody else in line of sight, he's just gonna not shoot you. So, like, don't do that. Just, like, get out of the way of the Tac Visor. Same with High Noon. Don't do the fucking thing. Like, we don't see this ever come up in this game, but, like, don't do the thing that Genji players always do, where they see McCree using Deadeye, and they go up in the McCree's face, like, deflect, 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 and the McCree just looks you fucking in the eye, and then kills you as soon as deflect ends. Don't do these things. So, as soon as YouTube wants to work, there we go. So, we come over here, we accidentally bounce our own shurikens back in our face, which is not exactly great. We've just lost our Mercy over here. We dash away from Roadhog doing that. Our deflect was about to be off cooldown, so I would have probably just stayed over there to try and deflect it back at him. But also, we're starting to lose this fight pretty bad. Like, we've just lost 3 people right in front of our eyes, and we keep going in towards them right now. We're going this way. We want to be going that way right now, because we've lost 3 people. One of them's Mercy. This ain't gonna work, and we kept going in. Now we're just dead as well. We should have been going out instead of back in again. So, we do currently have 5 ultimates, so there should be no reason that we lose this next fight, because we should just be able to basically brute force it. Granted, they'll have gotten some ult charge because we just lost that fight pretty badly, but... So, we're going to be waiting for Zarya to do it. We don't necessarily want to Dragon Blade into Graviton, especially since we've got a Pharah, but we're waiting for, like, her to start things off. So, Roadhog over here, hooks, we start deflecting. Again, this is not going to do anything, because he's already hooked somebody, and we're not going to be able to get in position to bounce it back at him, so we just end up not doing anything with this deflect either. We probably just did it on reflex, though, for that one. Probably thought we were going to get hooked, and we were just like, oh fuck, no, stop, please. So, fair enough. So, Zarya comes over here, she's going to use Graviton. It's only 2 people, so it's not exactly the greatest Graviton in the world. We don't want to Dragon Blade into this, definitely not. We do end up, taking a big chunk of damage, because we're trying to, shoot into the Genji that's deflecting, and we're just, sitting on his face, so we take a big chunk of damage. They're dead right now, though. We start deflecting at nothing, because nothing's actually around us right now, so we use this deflect for no reason. So, now we're going to use Dragon Blade, because we see Mercy res, we see 2 supports, we come over here, but Lucio drops the beat. And now we're just really fucking sad about it, basically. When the Mercy shoots off that way, and she's got the sound barrier on her, you're not gonna kill her. Just, start backing up at that point. Yeah, it feels bad to give up on killing somebody when you've got Dragon Blade up, but you weren't gonna kill her at that point anymore. She was getting back over to the soldier. She had sound barrier on her. You weren't gonna get it. She'd gotten away from you, so it's time to just give it up, unfortunately. It happens. I would have also used the Dragon Blade. It's just unfortunate that Lucio also had sound barrier at the time, so that kind of made it difficult to kill the Mercy quickly. Or the Lucio quickly, for that matter. So we're over here right now, we dashed and we didn't get it reset, but we did look like we could have probably killed that guy, so that's fair enough. Roadhog's over there right now. Rather than trying to kill these, get these hard to hit, we're trying to get the Lucio. I would be shooting at the Roadhog over there, honestly, because he was just, behind our entire team, and he's a lot easier to hit than... he was by himself, so he should be easy for us to just, like, collapse on and kill. Again, we're in a pre-made, and one of them is Roadhog, so we should be able to, like, communicate, let's get the Roadhog, because he was over here by himself, so we could have collapsed in on him. Since he was over here, and his team was over here, we could have just collapsed on him and killed him. It's just hard to kill Lucio. Like, we try to kill Lucio instead, it's just hard to kill him as Genji. Like, there's generally something better to be doing with your time. So, that happened. We got fucked. It's very unfortunate, it feels very bad. And, yeah, there's not much more to say about that one. Just 3 people got killed in, like, 1 sword slash. It happens. So we changed to Tracer. We're gonna die immediately. Don't worry about it. We changed to Tracer, I think, just to get back here quicker. But then we end up, we get back here quicker, yeah, but we've got no blinks when we get here, so then we just kind of blink in and get killed. Like, we were not gonna win this regardless, because it's a full 6 people over here right now. So, even though we had 5 ultimates, you'll notice we didn't actually end up winning, which is, we didn't end up winning the fight. Like, we got control of the point, but we didn't win the fight, really, did we? It still felt pretty bad at all points in time. So, you know, the biggest thing is that the Zarya didn't really catch anybody in Graviton, and then Mercy just undid it, so, you know. So, now we're playing Tracer, so same basic hero with less vertical mobility, so we're still trying to do, like, the same things, basically. Tracer's a really good hero right now, as well. Tracer's, like, the best hero in the game right now, DPS-wise, so you could say in general, but, like, DPS-wise, she's, like, the best DPS in the game right now, so granted, this is pre-patch, actually, so disregard, I suppose. So we're coming over this way right now. This is the right way to go to begin with, since getting control of the grav lift is pretty important. We don't want to be fighting this guy. There are certain matchups in the game that are just not worth taking part in. Like, Tracer versus Genji, Genji versus Tracer, Tracer versus Tracer, Genji versus Genji. These matchups are not worth getting involved in, because, like, best case scenario, you kill the guy, but it'll have taken you so fucking long to do that you might as well have just gone and done anything else, and it would have been a more productive use of time. Pharah versus Pharah is also another one, unless the other Pharah gives you a super obvious opportunity to kill them. Like, they just land on the ground or end up floating right next to a wall. Like, just don't bother trying to kill the Genji, just go and look for something better to do. So we ended up falling off, and then we recall back up. Here's Lucio, we've got Winston helping us out. We can't keep going. We cannot keep going right now, because our recall is currently on cooldown. So, like, yeah, we recall back up. Alright, fair enough, we accidentally fell off, we want to keep fighting up here. We actually only really knew Genji was still up here, so I wouldn't really have done that one either. I would have just, like, saved the recall and been looking for something better to do with my time still. But we come back up and we find Lucio. We've got Winston here to help us out. We can't follow him over the edge right now, because we've got no recall, and we're gonna, like, if their team isn't up here, where are their team? Their team is gonna be down here, cause we didn't see them over there, and we didn't see them up here, so they're coming over here right now. So we can't go this way, because I've really fucked this up, because my pen has gone behind my taskbar. There we go. We can't go this way because our recall is off cooldown, and we're going into their entire team right now, so it's not good, like, awareness of the map, like, game sense, because we just end up going into their whole team while we don't have recall, and we just get killed. If you don't have recall, you've got to be pretty careful, because, for the same reason that you've got to be careful when your dash is on cooldown as Genji, but recall is a longer cooldown, because your options for, like, when you're in danger, that's how you get out. When in doubt, recall out. If your recall's down, well, you can just get fucked very suddenly, as we did right there. So, most of our team is dead right now. We've got to wait for our team to get back. It is very nice that we have a Winston now to go in with as well, because that helps us kill things more consistently. And we also have a Genji as well. I'm a little sad that he changed off Zenyatta to Lucio, but at the same time, I understand why he did that, but now it's very sad that we don't have the Discord orb, basically. But anyway, so our team is back together right now. We're gonna go around this way. No, we're not. We're gonna go around this way. Fuck, Roadhog's dead right now, so that's not very convenient. We've just been flanked by this Roadhog. this is what we're doing right now is very scary, because we've just been in Roadhog's face this entire time, and Roadhog can just, like, randomly one-shot you if you're right in his face. Like, don't get right in the Roadhog's face. Like, yeah, we're not as scared of him because his hook is on cooldown right now, but, like, don't get in the Roadhog's face. You can fight Roadhog from further, like, you can fight Roadhog from far enough away that he can't one-shot you with his left click or his right click. Like, you want to be in that range. You don't want to be so close that you can get one shot, or too far away that you can get one shot. You want to be, like, in between his two zones, basically. This is still true, even post-nerf, because he can still one-shot Tracer. It is harder to do now, but he can still one-shot you, so it's still kind of scary. So we did just bottom ourselves out of blinks right there while chasing after this Roadhog. Try not to do that. You want to try and always have one blink in reserve, because getting caught with no blink, like right there, we were caught with no blinks. And I think we tried to blink back around, but it was still on cooldown until it was too late. Try not to bottom yourself out of blinks unless it's an absolute emergency. Like, you want to save that last blink so that if you have to run away, you can use it to run away. If you blink forward, and that was your last blink, and suddenly you're like, oh fuck, and need to blink back, well now you have to recall or die, like we did right there. So try to have one blink in reserve at all times, unless it's an emergency. Or like right here, where we're still blinking back to the fight, we know we're gonna get another one back before we encounter their team. So that's fine, but like when you're around people, try to save a blink, unless it's an emergency. So we have Pulse Bomb right now, so that's cool. Genji's using Dragon Blade right now, so we don't really want to use Pulse Bomb. We use Pulse Bomb anyway. Very optimistic for a bunch of reasons. We end up killing Genji, which is fantastic news, but he's also probably pretty upset about it. But first off, we lob it from really far away, which is inconsistent. You want to kind of just, like, get as close as possible and just, like, push it onto their face, really. Other reason it's optimistic, we were throwing it at Zarya. Zarya, unless you know with 100% certainty that the Zarya doesn't have her bubble up, you can be pretty sad pretty quickly if you throw it at her and she has her bubble, so I wouldn't recommend chucking it at a Zarya. And we did it from really far away as well, which is not usually the best idea. So again, we've bottomed ourselves out of blinks for, like, no reason right there. Try to avoid doing that one. Right there again, we blinked back in with no blinks up again. We don't want to do that. So we're just sort of, like, posturing around this doorway right now. There's nothing really better for us to be doing, so, I mean, fair enough, I guess. Don't, like, do that where you shoot at them from really far away, because the idea is sort of that you're gonna get up behind them, and they're, like, not gonna know you're coming. You're gonna get up behind them, and you're just gonna bore into somebody's head pretty close and kill them. If you start, like, shooting at them from really far away like that, you don't really do any damage because your fall off is too severe, and you just give away where you are. You don't really want the enemy to know where you are if you can avoid it, because you do want to just be able to, like, sneak up and just, like, kill a support before they even know what's going on. Doing that just, like, gives you away for basically no reason. So don't do that either. So, come on, YouTube. Come on. Okay. So, right there we could have gone in because we saw him hook somebody, and he had his back to us, so we could have gone in and, like, gotten some free ult charge off shooting into his back right there. Fuck, now Roadhog's right in our face. This is pretty scary. Oh fuck, we killed Roadhog. Didn't need to recall right there because we're still pretty full HP, and there's nothing too scary looking at us right now. Like, we killed the scariest thing, it's Roadhog. And we're only missing 30 hit points right now. So we don't need a recall right there. We still got blinks. We could have just blinked away. We didn't need to recall just yet right there, so and now that's a long cooldown we just used up right there. So we could have just blinked instead. Just go in on that Mercy. Like, you don't need to be so afraid and, like, hang out in the doorway. There's nobody with that Mercy. You can go in more decisively sooner right there. And maybe kill her, because we ended up not killing her right now. Like, you could have gone in more aggressively because she was by herself in that hallway. As soon as you see a Mercy by herself, you just go in and you just go straight for the skull. So, we've got our Pulse Bomb right now. However, they just dropped the beat, so we want to wait a little bit for that. We don't need to use the Pulse Bomb on this Tracer. That's a frivolous use of company resources, because we can see through the sound barrier that she's still mostly dead, and we end up killing her without the Pulse Bomb. We could have killed her, turn around, shove it into the soldier's face, and then blink away, and we'd killed 2 people. instead of just killing their Mercy and now being like, oh fuck. If you don't need to pulse bomb somebody, if you can kill somebody without pulse bombing them, just shoot them, and then use the pulse bomb on somebody else. And we could see we didn't need to pulse bomb them right there. So most of our team's currently dead. We shouldn't still be fighting in the point. We should have been trying to get away, because we don't want to die. You know, dying is generally bad. If you don't think you can get out, just go, like, throw yourself off a ledge or into cars on this map, so that you don't give the enemy team ult charge. But, like, yeah. Team was dead. We didn't want to still be going in right there. So we have both of our support ultimates right now and not much else. So, you know, that's kind of sad. As you'll notice, we've said basically nothing this entire game. There's been no communication this entire time. Nobody's calling out where things are. Nobody's trying to coordinate ultimates. Nobody's doing anything. Nobody's trying to work out what we should do, if we should switch to something else. This is kind of the point of being in a pre-made this large, is that you can, like, communicate with these people and, like, plan things out, and, like, we just don't do that at any point, so it's kind of weird. And it's not, like, usually pre-made, it's like, oh yeah, we communicate, but, like, it's just, like, joking around and talking, it's not actual communication. No, we're straight up not talking to each other this entire time, so it's very odd to me that we're just sitting here in sullen silence this entire time. But, I mean, whatever, I guess. So we took damage right there. We don't, like, we're not full HP, so we don't want to keep going in. Again, we bottomed ourselves out of blinks while we were doing so as well. Like, don't do that. When you're not full HP, you want to prioritize healing up. We're fucked now. By the way. I don't know if you noticed, but we just got fucked right there. But now everyone's alive again. Great, we get to go in and try again. We're currently getting fucked still because recall is not off cooldown. Recall came off cooldown. Then we got pulled into the graviton. It's been very unfortunate for the last few seconds. Come on, just reload. Just reload. If you can't kill them in one melee, just reload. Because now it's gotten, like, really awkward. We got him in the end, but, like, you know. So, I would have also thrown it at him, but it's unfortunate we missed. Mercy just rezzed a bunch of people, so that really sucks. What I will say is that you should be trying to find the Mercy a little bit more actively as well, because, like, we weren't really, and I mean, part of that was because of, like, the Lucio situation, but we should be, like, trying to find Mercy. So we're really low HP, we recall back round, and get fucked while we're not looking. We were trying to get behind the Mercy, I think, like, the recall wasn't going to heal any HP right there, but we just got fucked instead, and as you can see, we're going to lose the round. So, that's the only round, that's the last round we have on the tape right now. I would be surprised if it went more than 3 rounds, given how well those 2 rounds went. So, you know. So, the things that stand out the most is when we're playing Genji, we use our deflect for, like, no reason a lot of the time, which is, I mean, not great, since it's your defensive ability, you kind of need that. It also doesn't really seem like we have a plan for what we're doing as Genji. Like, when you're playing a flanker, you want to have, like, a plan, right? You want to figure out, who am I trying to kill? It's going to be Mercy, or support. That's the person you're trying to kill. So basically, you're trying to figure out how to get to that person as much as possible. It doesn't really look like we're doing that. When we're playing Genji, it kind of seems more like we're just sort of playing Soldier, where we spend a lot of time at, like, mid-range, just throwing shurikens into people. And I mean, like, that's a way to play Genji, yeah, but, like, if you're gonna play him like Soldier, I'm just kind of like, why don't you just play Soldier, really? Because that's kind of what we do. We don't really do any, like, flanking at any point. We don't try to get to the backline very actively. It just doesn't seem like we know what we're really trying to do. We don't really, like, focus on any one person. We don't spend very much time trying to actively get to their backline. We just kind of seem lost, like we don't really know what we're doing. Like, you want to try and figure out, who am I trying to kill? A support, probably. Or, like, a long-range hit-scan hero, if not a support, is going to be your top priority, like Widowmaker. And then you're just like, how am I going to get to this person? And, like, a map like Oasis, you know, there's a lot of ways to do it. These maps are kind of, like, pretty easy to flank on, because there's usually a lot of ways to get around the team. And we just sort of sit at mid-range, just not really doing anything. So, same kind of thing with Tracer. The same, like, that applies to Tracer as well, where we just kind of seem like we don't really know what we're trying to accomplish. And, like, try not to bottom yourself out of blinks, basically, and sort of be aware of where the enemy team is, so that you don't, like, end up getting fucked by them very suddenly, like we did, like, at the start of the second round. And, like, the other thing is, like, I don't care about communication generally, because, like, I don't talk to anybody in this game, and I do just fine. Got to Masters, not talking to a single human being. Thank goodness. Oh, God, people. Disgusting. So, like, you're in a pre-made of 4 people, and you just, like, sit there not talking to anybody, and it's really weird to me. Like, there's not even just, like, conversation happening. Like, I don't talk with your pre-made. Like, that's, like, the point of being in a pre-made that large. You can communicate with people. And, like, reliably, like, they're not gonna just tell you to fuck off and pick Widowmaker, right? Like, communicate with your pre-made. That's kind of the point of being in a pre-made that large, is that you can communicate with people and coordinate with them. So just, like, sitting there, like, just not talking in general is really weird to me, because, like, that's usually the thing. It's like the pre-made is talking, but they're just joking around, like, banter. They're not actually, like, communicating. It's just, no, we're just not saying anything. It's really weird. So those are the things that stood out to me the most in this game. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.